Hey friends, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some cute little summer sets that I put together. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning person, thank you so much for your continued support. All right, let's get into it. So it's time to get ready for summer. And while I know many of my sewing friends have already been sewing summer garments for like the last couple of months, we haven't seen a ton of hot days where I live in the Bay Area of California. So I'm just now getting started. We had a little heat wave last month and I had nothing to wear. A lot of you may know this already because I've shared it before on my channel. I was on a weight loss journey all of last year. I'm down 20 pounds, and as a result, my summer clothes from last summer did not fit me. So I had to make some new things. I wanted to lean on some patterns that I loved in the past, some really quick, easy patterns that I could sneak in throughout my weeks because I don't have a lot of time for sewing and filming. So I definitely did that. I went through all of my photos from last summer and the summer before to decide which patterns I wanted to focus on using to create my matchy-matchy summer sets. And there was one particular pattern that worked so well last summer that I had to recreate it, not one time, not two, not even three times, but I made 5 pairs of these shorts. And that pattern is the NewLook N6737. This is what it looks like. It has a little jacket. It has a wrap halter top and then the shorts. So I made the shorts. I made 5 pairs of these shorts in different fabrics, and each fabric made them look like a different style because of the way the fabric moved on my body when I wore it. So I was really pleased about that. If you haven't seen this pattern, definitely check this out at Simplicity. It is definitely one of the easiest patterns that I've sewn as far as shorts. It does have really nice deep pockets, really quick sewed. I actually sewed all 5 pairs of shorts, I believe, in one night. And I'm a crazy sewist, so sometimes I get into the sewing mood and I'll sew until 2 o'clock in the morning. So I mean, if that's not your jam, you might want to spread it out if you make more than 1 pair. But I've also made the jacket, and if I can find the pictures from last summer, I'll insert it so that you can see what the jacket and the shorts look like together. Now, last summer I made one of these, and it was out of a beautiful floral rayon challis. And actually, I'm going to be pulling that out and actually tightening the elastic in the waistband so that I can wear those shorts again this summer. But I love this set so much. Now this time around, I'm not making the jacket, but I did pair it with another standout pattern. I love this pattern for summer, and that is the Ashton top by Helen's Closet. Now I only made 3 because there were other tops that I wanted to make to go along with those shorts. So the Ashton top, I couldn't find my actual pattern cover, the picture, because when I printed out the instructions and put my pattern together, for some reason, I think I was saving on paper or something. I didn't print the actual picture of the pattern. But this is what it looks like. And if I can, I will insert a picture of the pattern from their website. But this is a really great, easy tank top that has bust darts, and it comes in 2 different lengths. So you have the crop length and you have the regular full length. Now, my previous version that I made last summer was a crop length, and it was a linen fabric. I wore that tank a lot and I really love it, and I can't wait to bring it back out once it warms up a little bit more. So I made 3 of those to go along with these shorts, and in my opinion, they're like, you know, the perfect pair. I love how easy it was to make all of these garments. Now for the Ashton top, you do have the option of using a hem facing, and that is a really nice finish. I especially liked using that on the cropped version of the blouse, our top. But for this version, I just went ahead and used bias tape that was in my stash. I just thought it would be easier, and I think it still looks really nice, and it definitely still has that professional finishing on the inside. And then I used my serger to finish off the side seams. So both projects are super easy to put together. Now for these projects, I wanted to make sure that I used fabric from my stash. I wanted to use any fabric scraps that I had. I recently cleared out one of the closets in my classroom/sewing space, And I had a ton of fabric that I just did not know what I was gonna do with. It wasn't my style. I've had it for a very long time. I had a bunch of little scrap fabric. So I got rid of all the stuff that I know I won't be using to clear up space, to organize the things that I love and want to use. And while doing that, I discovered some fabrics that I had made previous projects out of and had a good amount of yardage to make more. Both of these projects take very little fabric, so they're perfect for scrap busting, especially if you make the crop version of the Ashton top. So I had made this really gorgeous dress out of a rayon challis for a pattern test for Pattern Scout, I believe. And the dress was really beautiful and flowy, and I loved wearing it. And I had 2 yards of this fabric left over. This fabric was from LA Finch Fabric, one of my favorite fabric stores. If you love designer dead stock fabric at a reasonable price, definitely check them out. They are located in Los Angeles, I believe. Josie's the owner. She's fantastic. But anyway, I had 2 yards of this fabric left, and it's a little wrinkled. All these things are because I took photos in them yesterday. And so I folded them after I was done and just put them down instead of hanging them up. But anyway, so the fabric is really soft and flowy and drapey. It's just such a really good rayon challis. I love it. I love this print so much. It definitely reminds me of an Aztec print. It's stunning, and this blue is just so bright, and I just love it. Now, when I made this, I envisioned pairing it with some cardigans that I have for an evening with some dressy sandals or heels, or even with just a denim shirt on top. I thought that would be really cute. So I definitely styled it casually because that's more often how I'll be wearing it. I can wear this for work. I can wear this for other things as well. But definitely because of the fabric, it lends itself well to being able to dress it up or down. And this Ashton top can be paired with jeans. I would personally pair these with some white jeans. I meant to take pictures of other options, but I ran out of time and sunlight when I was taking my pictures, so I didn't get a chance to style these garments with other items in my closet. But that was definitely something that I wanted for these sets, is to be able to mix and match with other things in my wardrobe. So I made this version. And you'll see me walking around in my yard, and you'll see how it moves. It was slightly windy, so you'll be able to see how it moves on my body. And yeah, these paired with some gold sandals or white sandals would be so beautiful. And I could even see myself pairing them with heels if I wanted to. But really great breezy little set. These are the shorts, and I love the way they turned out. I did my best to try to pattern match, but it didn't quite match up perfectly on the front and the back. But I mean, the actual zigzags line up. It's just the pictures didn't quite line up, but that's okay. I really love the way these turned out. I think they're stunning. And the best part about these shorts is that you could pair them with a solid color t-shirt, blouse, tank, whatever, that's in one of the colors within the background or the design. And because it's made out of a rayon challis, they just look more dressy than just a regular plain pair of cotton shorts. And one of the things I wanted when creating these two-piece outfits is to be able to mix and match them with other things in my wardrobe, as well as to be able to lounge around and sleep in them if I wanted to. So I don't know if you guys are like me, but when we go on vacation, sometimes we'll go to the pool, we'll, go back to the room, shower, change into something comfortable, maybe get dinner, maybe stay in, and sometimes I'm just lounging and reading books, and then I'll go from reading my book right into the bed. All I do is chuck off the bra, right? And because this is so soft and so beautiful and comfortable, I know I could just sleep really well in this. And rayon challis is very cooling to the touch as well, so it's perfect for summer. Daytime, evening time, sleeping, this set works for me. I just really love it. The next set that I made using that same pattern combination was made out of this gorgeous cotton fabric. I got this when I was at the sorority retreat in Dallas. It was from a store in the fabric district. I don't remember which one. If you go back to that fabric haul video of July of last year, you will be able to find it. But it was such a cool find. Now this fabric has a bunch of squares that have been basically patchworked together and serged together on the inside. And I knew I wanted to make a two-piece set, shorts and a tank. I think initially I wanted to use a pattern by Nomi Patterns, and I believe the creator is Alyssa Threads. but the tank top had too many details. And I want to say there was gathers and everything and tiers in it and everything. So I didn't want to take all of that and add it to this busy fabric. I think sometimes when you have a busy print of fabric, the way to make it look more classy or dressed up is to pair it with a simple pattern, something that doesn't have a lot of details. And for this pattern, it's only 2 pattern pieces. And I just thought that this would be such a great pairing, and I'm glad I did that. So the top itself is really cute and can be paired with denim skirts, jeans of any color really. I think white jeans or just the traditional indigo jeans would be perfect. I have this skirt that has a button front all the way down the front of the skirt that is a dark denim. I think that would be really cute with this as well. But I did pair it with those NewLook shorts, and you will see how it moves on my body, that this cotton is more structured and doesn't move on my body or lay on my body the way the Rayon challis does. So while this can still be dressed up or down based off of the styling, you don't have the elegant fluidity. I don't know if I'm describing that accurately, that you have with the Rayon challis. It's more structured. Now, I thought it would be cute to style this not only by itself, but also by pairing it with a denim long sleeve shirt. And in the summertime, I typically will layer a denim shirt on top of a tank top, a t-shirt, a dress to add some warmth to my arms because it gets chilly here early, or even just to dress it up a bit. And so I tried that. I added one of my favorite Gap button-up shirts that I've had, oh my gosh, I think I've had it longer than I've had my kids. It's a very long time, okay? And I thought the way that looked together, it looked really nice. And so I'm really pleased with how that pairing worked out. I did make these sets, like I said before, for lounging in the summertime, but something that I can easily transition from daytime activities to dinner, or even just wear them to lounge around in the house. And I think that I nailed my goal. I achieved my goal by creating these 2 sets. And they are the dressier versions of the 3 sets that I made that are exactly the same. Now for the 3rd set that I made in that same combo, I chose to use some remnant fabric that I had from a dress that I made a few years ago. It was literally just enough to squeeze out another set. And I chose to use a cotton voile fabric. Now this cotton voile is very thin and breezy, but it's not as flowy or as soft to the touch as the Rayon challis. It's definitely more structured because it is a cotton, even though it is a thin cotton. And I think this is perfect for pajamas. Now in the summertime, I don't have a lot of pajamas that are specifically for hot weather because it tends to be cool here in the evenings. But because we live in a 2-story house, when we sleep at night, it's super hot upstairs. We don't have air conditioning. And so I thought it would be nice to have a set that I can wear for lounging in the house and also sleeping. And so that's why I chose to use a cotton voile fabric. And I loved being able to test out these 2 patterns in 3 different types of fabric because it really gave me some versatility with the same pattern. While you can kind of look at the lines of the pattern and see that I use the same exact patterns for each of these sets, they definitely lay on my body different and give a different feel. I think when you look at this, you definitely look at it and you're like, oh, that's a cute pajama top. Like I think it screams pajama. But with the other tops, they just look like nice tops, right? So anyway, I love the way this set came out as well. And again, this will be worn for sleeping. And here are the shorts. And they definitely feel like a boxer short. They don't feel like substantial weighty cotton at all. So very light and comfortable. And I think that pairing is really cute. Now for my next NewLook shorts, I decided that I wanted to create a shirt that I could wear out and about. I wanted to create a little fun summer set that would be just perfect for summer wear, something perfect for work. And I remembered that I had a pattern that required very little fabric. That was a Seamwork pattern that I really enjoyed. Hadn't made it in a couple years, so I thought it's time to pull that pattern back out. I love Seamwork, okay? Because pretty much anything I'm looking for, I can find a pattern for in their catalog. If you are not familiar with Seamwork, Seamwork is a monthly sewing pattern subscription. You can buy the patterns individually if you'd like, but they do have a monthly service, which is what I have and have had for years. And they just have so many wonderful patterns. And I actually did a few of their patterns just to show you how wild it is that even their old patterns still hit today, okay? Let's talk about this top. This top is the Madhu top. Now, I originally made this top in an Ankara fabric a few years ago when my sewing bestie, Creativity by T, Talisha, when we did our Elevate with Ankara sewing series, which is a year-long series where we basically showed you all how you could elevate basic garments, basic patterns with Ankara fabric. If you didn't watch that series, honey, what are you doing? Please write it down so that you can check it out later. There is a playlist on my channel. But anyway, I definitely made this out of a gorgeous Ankara and loved it. Now, I wanted to try it again, but in a different type of cotton fabric. Now, this is a gauzy cotton fabric. This is from Hobby Lobby. And I bought this, I want to say last spring. And I originally bought it for lining for different projects that I have been sewing for Etsy. As a matter of fact, I believe I paired this outfit with one of the tote bags that I made to sell on Etsy, just so that I could show off the matchy-matchiness of it all. But anyway, I bought this for lining, but it is definitely a fabric that can be used for garments. And so I used this to create this top. It takes very little fabric, which is so nice. And you can easily make it from scraps because of how small the sleeves are. And I love that it has the gathered neckline, the gather at the arm hem so that it creates a puff. And it's supposed to be cropped. However, I'm short-waisted and I love the way this hits. It hits at the top of my waistband of my shorts, which is perfect. This will look so good with so many different things in my wardrobe. I have this gorgeous white skirt that I always want to wear and never know what to wear it with. And I think this would be a perfect combo. Also will look good with jeans and every other thing in my closet, which I love. And with the shorts, it's just so cute. It's giving playful summer. It's giving whimsy, and I love it so much. So you'll be able to see in the pictures how I styled it. But I just think that this is such a cute little summer outfit. Like, it's just perfect. It's so fun. The color is so bright and cheery. And I'm going to love working and playing in this little two-piece set. Now, for my last NewLook pair of shorts that I made it out of this cotton fabric, and I believe this came from Joann. I think I bought it before they closed and everything was on sale. But it's definitely not the softest cotton. This is more of a quilter cotton grade of cotton. It's not rough to the touch, but not super soft. I think it'll do fine for pajamas. But I definitely don't know that I would wear this out and about unless I had a cute pink something to go up on top. It's just not my favorite feel. Out of all of the shorts that I made, this is the one that I would say is probably going to stay in the house, which is no problem. I mean, they're not bad looking. They just don't look... They look like pajamas. Let's just say that. They just look like pajamas. But I'm happy to be able to utilize fabric in my stash because I'm doing my very best not to buy a lot of fabric because I have a fabric store in my home. And while I did buy this to make cosmetic bags, book sleeves, things of that nature, girl, when are we going to do those things? When? I didn't have the time for it, but I do need pajama pants. So I went ahead and utilized this fabric for that instead. Now for the top, I wanted to create something different. I wanted to take a t-shirt pattern, but switch out the sleeves to be made from woven fabric. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I definitely want to try it with a sweatshirt, but this is the first time that I actually did that, and I wasn't sure how well it would work out. It worked out just fine. The pattern that I chose to use was from Seamwork. It's called the Jane. It is an older pattern, which I don't know how I didn't know I had access to this pattern. I tell you, every time I'm looking for something, I can almost always find it in the Seamwork catalog of patterns. So this t-shirt is perfect. I love it. It's the perfect oversized t-shirt. And I basically used the front and the back piece, and I used it out of a stretch cotton fabric that I purchased from Stone Mountain & Daughter 2 years ago. And I used a ribbing neckband fabric that I purchased also about 2 years ago. I'm actually kind of sad that I used this fabric for this project because I liked the way the t-shirt fit when I made it in a different fabric, which I'll show you in a minute, so much that I wish I had made a white version. So I might be making this again in all white, but for this version, I went ahead and paired it with the floral fabric from the shorts so that I could have a perfect little pajama set. It's very comfortable. I just don't know that this is something that I would wear outside of the house. I don't know. Maybe if I had pink jeans, I don't know. Maybe the mood would strike me, but to me it screams pajamas, and that's exactly what it was meant for. So I have this little matchy set to sleep in the house. And again, this is the Seamwork jean, perfect oversized t-shirt. You'll be able to see it in the pictures. I did crop this a bit because I'm short-waisted. But I cropped it even more for my next version. Okay, because it's summer, we try to be cute, okay? So I cropped it even more for my next one. So I was like, you know what? Let me look at this t-shirt a little closer and see how they styled it in the mod shots. And what I saw, I was like, that's what I want to be wearing this summer. Look at this drawing. Do you see this drawing? It has a gorgeous like knit pencil skirt to go with the t-shirt. And I was like, yes, that is my jam. I can wear this for work. I can wear this for play. I can transition from work to play. That's what I did, okay? I made the Margo skirt, which is also a Seamwork pattern. I mean, Seamwork has it going on, okay? And I made it out of a ponte fabric. Let me show you the t-shirt first. This is probably my favorite t-shirt that I've made in a long time. I mean, it definitely is giving everything I wanted it to give. I did my best to match up my stripes with my sleeves. And I mean, I'm very, very close. It was super close on this side, but on this side, I did a better job. But I will say, it's not super easy to cut out stripy fabric out of knit fabric and expect it to line up perfectly. Especially with knits, when you start sewing, sometimes things get a little stretched. But this top is perfect for summer, okay? I'm going to be wearing this all the time with lots of different things, but especially with the skirt that I made. Let me show you this little Margo situation. Margo, I made her out of a ponte fabric, which was an end of the bolt, little find. You know how Joanne used to have those discount buckets with all of the end of the bolt fabrics, and they would be like rubber band with the little sticker? I want to say I got this ponte for like $10, which is crazy because it's beautiful quality ponte. Now, the way this skirt fits my body is yes, but I will say that the sizing, I don't know what it, for whatever reason, these older patterns printed weird on my printer. So when I went to measure the square, the sizing square, I couldn't get my printer to line up accurately. So it was a little skosh outside of the test square in measurement. So I went down to a size extra small and it was perfect. I've never been an extra small. I will never be an extra small in any other pattern, but for this particular one, that's what I was. And so this is it. It's so nice. It's so plushy. Now, I didn't have navy blue thread, so I used pink serger thread on the inside of the skirt. I just think it's cute. It's a little pop of color, you know? And the striped shirt also has the pink serger thread, but you can't see it. But anyway, such a cute little set. I love it so much. I'm gonna live in this thing. It's so good. And another thing that I love about it is that I can wear it year round. And because it's such a thick ponte fabric, so cute. So it has splits on either side of the skirt, which I think is such a fun detail. This is one pattern piece for the base part of the skirt. And then you have two pattern pieces for the waistband. I mean, quick, easy, fun. I definitely need to have a black one. So my next version will be black. And I love it. If you haven't tried this, but you've been looking for like a pencil skirt situation for knit fabric with splits, this is the one for you. Easy, cute, effortless. I love it. And I was actually wondering if maybe I should make a striped version because I do have more of this fabric left over. This fabric just played so well with my sewing machine. It made me so happy. And actually I used my twin needle for the neckband. But when I turned around to use the twin needle on the pajama shirt, it wouldn't work. So it was like meant to be. You know what I mean? It was just meant to be. It just worked out so nice for this top. And this cotton is so nice. I went to a fabric swap. Was it last year? It might have been year before last year. And I got this at a fabric swap. Someone, I don't know why they were giving it up because this fabric is fantastic. And they gave me so much of it too. So I have plenty. I can make a whole nother t-shirt. I can make a t-shirt dress out of what I have left. But such a beautiful knit fabric. And I love the way it turned out. And with this skirt, oh my God, so cute, so comfortable. I love it, okay? All right, so again, both of these pieces can be styled with everything in my closet, pretty much. I could pair this with heels. I could pair this with sandals. I could pair this with sneakers. This outfit is a win for me. It's definitely what my wardrobe needed. And I definitely will make that skirt again in black. I actually have hot pink ponte that I might make it out of too. So cute. All right, now this last set is gonna blow your mind, okay? This last set's gonna blow your mind. Okay, well, it blew my mind. Maybe I'm overselling it. Now, last summer, I told you I was gonna recreate that lace two-piece outfit by Cezanne. I'll insert a picture here so that you know what I'm talking about. In my last video, I shared a top that I basically hacked the Friday Pattern Company Wilder dress and top into to recreate that style of top. And this time around, friends, I created the top and the pants that I had envisioned. I love it so much. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm wearing it, okay? I don't know. Where am I going in this? I don't know. But here is the gorgeous pink lace top that I told you I was going to make to recreate that Cezanne look. Get into it. Get into the gathers. I used elastic so it goes over my big head and I didn't have to do the loop and button on the back of the neckband. I love it. So basically, in my last video, I told you how I hacked that pattern in order to create this look. So instead of having a center seam down the front, I basically just put that pattern piece on the fold and cut it as one piece instead of two pieces, which did two things. It gave me more room in the bust because that pattern was not big booby friendly for me. And yeah, so that's what I did. So the front and the back were cut on the fold. And then I added a big bishop sleeve. And I didn't want to have the ruffle on the sleeve cuff because I do things with my hands and I knew I would get that ruffle all messed up. So I just did elastic at the wrist and I prefer it that way. But this is my gorgeous blouse. This fabric is another fabric that I believe I got in Dallas in the fabric district. And it is a stretchy lace. And the feel of it is almost like knit. Like it just feels soft like a sweater. And it's so stretchy and beautiful. And I love her. And for the pictures, I just wore a nude bra, which is literally nude for me. It's the exact same color as my skin for the top. But let me tell you about the bottoms, okay? I pulled out a tried and true old school McCall pattern. This is McCall's M7757. And if you've been sewing for any length of time, I'm sure you've seen this pattern at some point. I love this pattern. I forgot I had this pattern, honestly. I was looking for a pant pattern that only required 1-inch elastic that I had in my stash that also had a wide leg. And that's what I did. And because I'm an auntie, I can't be out there with my cheeks out, guys. So I actually created shorts to go on the inside. So the pants are lined with a pair of shorts made out of scuba knit in the same exact color. Let me show you what that looks like. And so I basically just took the pant pattern and cropped it to make shorts to go on the inside because we gotta have some modesty, okay? And so that's what that looks like. And I serged off the edges, but it is attached to the pants at the waistband. So it's lined. So I can be a little sassy and have my legs out with the lace, but my booty is covered, okay? I'm so excited about this pairing. Now, yes, this is different from the Cezanne version. That one was the inspiration and this was the completion, okay? So that version actually has this really gorgeous thick waistband. And in the photo, I believe I found this set is no longer sold. It was actually a part of, not both pieces, but the pants were a part of the summer archive sale with Cezanne. And if they had had the top, I probably would have bought it just because I love it so much. But it's a light color of purple and the pants are not lined. So you would be showing that bootay, okay, if you bought those. But they have a really thick, really pretty waistband that almost looks like it's satin. And the model, I believe, in the photo had her top tucked in. And so mine, I can also tuck in, but I just love the flowy look of it out. And another thing I love about this set is just like my other sets that I created, they can be paired with other items in my closet. Like this would hit with a beautiful square neck knit tank top, like a black one. That would be so pretty with some black sandals. But also the top could be paired with any number of bottoms in my closet. So I did it, friends. I finally duped this look. Okay, I love it. As a matter of fact, I don't know that I mentioned this, but when I was shopping the Cezanne archive sale, I also saw that they had shorts made out of a similar fabric as this with the matching tank top, but the tank top had ruching all across the top. But it's just so funny because that's my favorite store, and the fact that they had a set made out of a similar fabric and I didn't know just lets you know how on brand this fabric was for me, because my favorite store also has a two-piece made, and it was just a coincidence too, which is so funny. I don't know if it was funny to you, but it was funny to me. But you know when you like a brand and they just hit every time? Literally, without trying, we kind of align. So enough about that. I'm being silly now. But yeah, those are all the summer sets that I made, and I love them all. Now for my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you my sewing plans, and my sewing plans are going to be geared more towards summer. So in my previous video, I said that I wasn't ready to sew dresses and it was during the spring because it was cold here. But now I'm ready to sew some dresses, okay? I have 2 dresses in particular that recently released that I want to sew up. And then also I have another ready to wear inspired dress that I want to sew up. So stay tuned. Make sure you come back to my channel and check out that video where I will be sharing with you the dresses that I plan to sew this summer. If you enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. And I hope you have a fantastic day and a wonderful week. I'll talk to you very soon. Take care. Bye.